Namaste. Namaste and welcome to day 15 of our June Yoga Challenge. And today I didn't record my sun salutations because I haven't done 10. I've done about 4 to warm up this morning before teaching, but we had Poppy's entire school here today for a farm visit and had classes to teach as well. So I didn't have time to record a video during the day, and now it's evening time. It's too late to do sun salutations for my body, my energy. So instead today I thought I would record a yin practice. And instead of recording the entire practice, because in yin yoga each of the postures is held for quite a long time, I thought I would share with you how to set up for the practices. You can pause the video and hold them for as long as you like before releasing it out and using the next one. So hopefully this should be quite easy for you to do, and it's a lovely way to do a different kind of yoga during this energetic month. So yin yoga, there are 3 principles in yin yoga: stillness, softness, and sustainability. So in yin, we hold postures for much longer, and we hold them as still as we can in a supported way, with the body as little engaged as possible. So forget holding onto your tummy muscles or engaging your gluteus muscles, just relaxing, surrendering down into whatever support you have, and observing your breath and the sensations in your body and allowing yourself to be in the moment. It's a very mindful practice. And I choose to do the postures that serve me best. So in the sun salutation, we work in a very linear pattern. There's not much that takes the legs apart. So in the yin, I tend to do more wide leg variations, but of course you can do any yin that you like. So first things first, you might need some support. So I'm going to use a bolster and these 2 blocks. You could use a rolled blanket, a folded pillow, wrapped with a belt instead of a bolster if you wanted, and some sturdy books will do instead of these blocks as well. So don't feel you need to rush out and get equipment for this practice. So the first thing I'm going to do is a supported child's pose. So I'll pop these to one side for now. And I'm going to use a bolster here. Take my knees quite wide, keep my toes together, and just fold myself over the bolster, turning my head to one side, surrendering the weight of the arms into the floor. The palms turned upwards is the gesture of surrender, so we would also do that. So if you want to come into a child's pose, a yin child's pose that can be held for an extended period of time, then looking for some way to support your body away from the floor. And you don't have to have your head turned to the side. If you prefer to have your head straight on, then you can actually put something like a block at the end of your bolster and support your forehead on the block and still allow your chest, arms, shoulders, the rest of your body to surrender. I'm not going to use a block because that doesn't suit my neck. So you can come into the child's pose variation of your choice. Relax your face, your chest, the muscles of the whole body. Find a long, deep breath. And hold this position anywhere from 1 minute, which is the average person's 5 long, deep breaths, to perhaps 3 minutes. When you're ready, you can prepare to move. And sometimes that just means wakening up your core muscles, just switching them on just a little bit and coming into the center. If you want to do a correctly balanced practice, you would turn your head to the opposite side as well. But I'm just going to show you what you can do tonight. And for the next posture, I'm going to use my bolster. I'm going to lie along it so that I leave space at this end to move my arms to either side. So I want to be quite far along the bolster, support my forehead on a block, slide my arms across each other as if I was going to do an eagle pose arms. I'm going to hold on to the shoulders around the back. Just take a couple of deep breaths here. The feet can be as wide apart as feels comfortable. And after a couple of deep breaths, I'm going to allow the backs of the hands, apologies for that, to rest on the floor. The back of the neck is long. The front of the body is comforted by the contact between you and the bolster and the floor. So it's grounding for all of the energetic centers down the front of the body. Opens up the space in those centers at the back of the body, the chakras. Releasing the muscles of the face, the jaw, that space between the shoulders. Allowing the low back to be soft here, the backs of the legs, the soles of the feet. I think in Yin they call this pose broken branches, but I can't honestly remember off the top of my head. They have funny names in Yin. When you're ready to release, just a touch of firmness in your center, sliding the arms back, taking a neutral spot in the middle. And after you've had a few breaths in that neutral spot, you can slide the arms the opposite way, perhaps lifting your head a little, holding onto the shoulders for a deep breath or two, letting the backs of the hands come to the floor. Continuing to soften, releasing any patterns of holding or tension from the face, the top of the back, the chest, the jaw. Finding that long, deep breath. When you're ready, preparing to move, and just gently engaging through the center, just enough to slide the hands back. And it's probably useful now to come to a hands and knees position. In Yin, we don't move to release any of the effects of the practice. We balance the practice so that we don't need to. So at the end of it, you feel all nice and delicious. So having done our broken branches, we're going to do a posture called broken wings. There's a lot of broken everything in Yin Yoga, so I'm going to move the bolster to one side. and the block as well. And I shall demonstrate this 2 different ways. So you do this from lying on your tummy. You're going to reach your right arm out to the right side. And then with the front of the shoulder and the chest on the floor, turn your head to the left, bend your left knee, and then just use some support from the left foot and the left arm to roll towards that right side. So you're rolling the left side of your back towards the right. If you want to, you can step your left foot behind your right leg. And if you want to, you can reach your left arm back as well. Now, some people feel able to reach their hands towards each other, but if you don't, just simply rest your left arm wherever is comfortable, or you can leave it on the floor in front of you. You can even bend your right leg a little to give you some support, so that when you're ready, you can hold in stillness. Try to avoid any feelings that are too intense to sustain for a long time. So don't push to the limit of where you can move to. Hold in a place where the body is comfortable, where you're able to support with the minimum of effort, and where you're not likely to injure yourself as the result of your practice. Softening all the effort in your body. Breathing deeply, experiencing that openness across the right side of the chest, the inside of the shoulder. And this is quite intense. So we're going to relax out and do a different version. So you can lengthen the right leg very gently. Unfold yourself back onto the floor. Just moving nice and slowly. And when you come back to the center, you're going to leave your right arm, but bend it at the elbow, like a 45-degree angle. And this is a little bit more intense. So if you didn't enjoy the last one, you might not enjoy this one, but you can do the same process of rolling the back of your body to the right, trying to keep as little engagement as possible. So I can feel tension in my left buttock. I don't want that. So I want to bend my right knee a little bit for support. I'm going to leave my left hand in front. But some people who are more open, my right shoulder was injured, so it doesn't do any more than this. But you might be able to roll a little further, that's okay. Whenever you get to where you're going, soften the shoulders, your face, your jaw. Breathe deeply. Don't hold it where it's too intense. Just find that sweet spot where you feel length, you feel openness. And when you're ready, you can gently uncurl yourself. And in the center, just rest your head on the back of your hands, making a pillow out of the hands. Turn the toes towards each other, the heels apart. Take a few deep breaths. When you're ready, you can do the same thing to the other side. The left arm reaches out to the left. You turn the left side of your head to the floor. Roll your upper back or the back of your body to the left as well. And step your right foot behind your left. You can leave your right hand in front for support. Or if you want to, you can reach the right arm behind you, or perhaps rest it on your hip. Wherever feels good, wherever you get that sense of open across the left side of the chest. I have to say that chest openers are one of my nemesis movements. I really find them quite intense. So hopefully you are feeling a bit more comfortable than I am right now. A little softness in the face. When you're ready, you can gently lengthen the left leg, roll back to center. Bend the left elbow so that the arm has an almost 90-degree angle, 45-degree angle indeed, and then rolling back the way. And as I said, these I find really intense. So perhaps you can do a little bit more, and I hope that you're able to. But if you've been doing lots and lots of chaturangas or plank poses or knees, chest, forehead, just sun salutations in general, lots of cobras, these are very lovely postures to soften and lengthen those structures that have been working hard. Softening, breathing deeply. And when you're ready, rolling back onto your tummy and just taking a moment to lie on your tummy. Making a pillow out of your hands, toes towards each other, heels apart. So one of the things we do in Yin Yoga is come back to center and just give the body a moment in the center before moving again. I'd like to do a crocodile here, and crocodile is known, there are several different kinds of pose known as a crocodile, but the one I know to be a crocodile is to take the legs quite far apart, turn the toes to point outwards, make a pillow out of your hands, rest your forehead to the floor. Now this supposes or requires quite a lot of rotation in the hips, a little bit of flexibility through the ankles as well. So if it doesn't suit you, you can do this with the toes pointing backwards a little bit, or rolling onto the fronts of the knees, tops of the feet. But it is most effective if you can turn your toes out. And this is a great posture for releasing anger. It's particularly good for children who have emotions that they can't describe or they can't release. Some deep breaths here. And of course, children find the posture much easier to hold and maintain. I find actually wider apart legs is a little bit more comfortable. Softening the face, relaxing the breath. And when you're ready, just bringing the legs a little bit closer together again, toes towards each other, heels apart, maybe giving your pelvis a little rock from side to side, like you were wagging a tail. So from here, I'd like to go back to using the bolster for a little chest opener. And I'm going to use this to do a supported cobra pose. So I've got the bolster underneath my arms, and I can reach my hands to wherever is comfortable, just rest my chin on the bolster. I can cross the arms, do whatever feels good. I don't need to be particularly active in the low back, because once I'm in place, I'm just going to relax. And take a couple of deep breaths. For some people, this will be super comfortable. I could watch TV like this indefinitely, I think. If you find it a little bit too intense, you can put a block underneath your pelvis, which will take some of the bend out of your back. Perhaps one of the flatter blocks or a folded blanket, something like that. For those of you who'd like to do a little bit more than this, you can bring the bolster back towards you, place it perhaps around the bottom of the rib cage, and again, just propping yourself up. I wouldn't hold the higher version for long because there's nothing for your head to lean on here. And the weight of the head is relatively heavy at the end of the spine. So this one, just perhaps for a maximum of 5 breaths. Nice and soft in the elbows, the shoulders, propped up, breathing deeply. And then when you're ready, you can again take some time lying flat on your tummy if you want to, or you can take a little child's pose to take the back in the other direction. When you're ready, you can just gently transition to a seated position. And so there are lots of different forward bends that we can do. It's quite useful to have a bolster and perhaps a block or two. And as I say, I try to work with positions that don't happen in the sun salutation if I can. So first thing we can do is a forward bend. And if you find forward bending quite a challenge, then place your bolster on the floor in front of you and lean it back towards you. It's easier to see if I flip it slightly sideways. So you're leaning it back towards you so that you can fold forward and rest your head on your bolster and rest your arms to the floor. Here, you don't have to have the legs absolutely straight. You can place rolled blankets or perhaps an eye pillow or cushion underneath the backs of the knees to give them some support. And you don't have to have your back straight. You're just trying to find a posture that feels comfortable to you. So it doesn't need to look like anyone else's. It's just a gentle forward bend. If you need to, you can lift your hips up onto a cushion or a block. Remember that sustained part of yin. So whatever position you choose, it's something that's comfortable enough to hold for a little while. And if you want to do a little bit more here, you can lower your bolster down and fold forward over the bolster. I might need just a little bit of lift, popping a block underneath it. So you're a lot lower down. Have your forehead to the bolster if you want to. Turn to either side as you choose. When you're ready, just gently patting your hands back towards you to come out of your posture. And then staying in this wide-legged position. The important thing with wide legs is not to put your legs as wide as they can go, because as soon as you fold forward from that position, you then put yourself into a position of strain. So working with your legs inside their widest possible orientation. You can place your bolster down one leg and just reach your arm down your leg and fold your head towards your arm. If you want to, place a block or a cushion underneath your arm. You can place your other arm where it's comfortable. So you're doing a little bit of a sort of side stretch here. Nice, deep, gentle breaths. Soft body, soft face. Holding for 1, 2, 3 breaths, probably for something like that. Coming back to the center, moving your bolster to the opposite side. Just taking a moment in the center to feel your center and then folding to the opposite side, using support underneath your head if it's useful. Leaving your other arm wherever is comfortable. Softening your face. Deep breaths. And whenever you're ready, just gently releasing out. You can bring your knees in with perhaps a little bit of help from your arms. And our last posture will be a Supta Baddha Konasana. So reclining bound angle pose. I think in Yin they call it, I can't remember what they call it, reclining cobbler, the butterfly, something like this. So for this pose, we're going to relax over, start with the feet on the floor, relax along the length of your bolster. And if it's too open in the front of your body to be in this position, you can place a block or cushion underneath the top end, the head end of your bolster, and it will give you some lift and some support. You can leave your feet on the floor and open the arms wide away from the body, allowing the chest to open, allowing the sides of the body to mold themselves around the bolster and fall towards the floor. If that's comfortable, you can explore the legs being nice and long and straight. And if that feels comfortable, they don't have to be absolutely straight. I've worn a really bad outfit for this, so please apologize. Please excuse me, I'm just frittering with it. You can have cushions underneath the backs of the knees if that is comfortable, a rolled blanket perhaps to just ease any tension out of the knees. And if you're comfortable with the legs long, you can explore bringing the soles of the feet together, resting the knees out to the side. I'm just supporting my thighs with the blocks so that I can let go of any effort and tension. Soften the features of the face. And I'd recommend holding this one for a little bit longer, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. Whichever orientation of the legs suits you best. One is not better than the others. Do whatever makes you most comfortable, but also gives you the best feedback, the best sensation in your body. And whenever you're ready to release this posture, just using the hands to bring the knees back to upright if you have been having them out to the side. And when you've done that, you can lengthen the legs along the mat. Oh no, sorry. If you've got your legs long, you can bend your knees up as well. And then rolling to one side, just moving your bolster out from underneath the body, bringing yourself back onto your back for a little constructive rest. So that's knees bent, feet on the floor, arms wide away from the body, on your back. And lying here until your body rebounds back to its sort of natural homeostasis, its balance, its center. And then from here, doing the relaxation posture of your choice. And you can add anything else in that you'd quite like to do. But when you do Yin Yoga, avoid doing anything super dynamic. If you're going to do Yin, or do it at the very, very beginning or very, very end of the other practices that you have in mind. Don't mix them up one and then the other. I hope you enjoyed this little practice. I hope that you'll pause the video and spend a little bit more time in the postures. And I hope that they make your body feel amazing afterwards. Namaste.